Good morning, viewers, and welcome to this very special episode of Medichit Chat. And I'm sure that on 18th, everybody was waiting for this video, which was on purpose of life. And due to some unavoidable circumstances, Sir was not keeping well. And finally, we are back with this very, very special episode. That what is purpose of life? Before we begin with this chat, heart-to-heart talk, I want, Sir, you to kindly introduce yourself.
I'm Dr Shirish Patil. I'm a professor of community medicine in Navi Mumbai, and apart from being a health professional, I'm keenly interested in the study of the mind, about abundance, about manifestation, law of attraction, and many other things.
Sir, before we move forward, it is important that I mention about the previous video, which was loved by so many. There are more than 400 views already, and people have really watched for many hours, more than 70 hours people have watched it. That means everybody continued watching and hearing you. So before we move on to purpose of life, do you believe that there is a higher power?
Definitely, Dr. Richa, there has to be a divine power, and there is a divine power without which this existence is not possible. So it's not about our planetary system, that's our solar system. There are many such other universes which are there, of which we human beings have not yet explored and will not be able to explore, because whatever we think and try to do is happening through the mind. But the divine is beyond the mind. It is actually an infinite thing, and that existence is always there. One way of explaining this is what we have is this human body, which is limited, maybe 75 years, maybe 80 years, 90, 100 years, but existence still continues. Existence was there even before human beings came on planet Earth, and life was in different forms at that particular time, and that is the divine thing which is there, which we call God. We may call it spirit, we may call it higher intelligence, cosmic energy, or by any other name. It has to be there, and it is there, and it will always be there, whether we exist on this planet or no.
So, sir, that means, do you believe in that we have kind of in the process that there is a Darwin's theory that we all have, there has been an evolution from amoeba to the current form? Or you feel that no, we all were born when the God, if at all God created us, He knew that I'm making an amoeba, I'm making a rat, I'm making a rabbit, I'm making a human being. So do you believe in this theory of evolution, or you believe that God made nature like this?
Basically, the theory is of divine expression, and God has this expression in different forms. Initially, whether it was amoeba or anything, today it has evolved into a better, higher intellectual being in the form of a human being. But it has gone through various phases. Now,
so
what
you
is
kind of...
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so sorry to disturb you. So you kind of believe that there is a science also of evolution?
Yes, yes. Now, what happens is this particular divine, its main purpose is to carry out an expression. The mind is the center of divine operation. And in the human being, through the mind, the divinity tries to express itself and tries to create whatever it wants to create.
So we are receivers?
We are receivers as well as creators. We are co-creators. So the divine is there, and as human beings, we become a co-creator. We are fulfilling the creation which the divine wants to do. The divine tries to do it through us, plus we get connected over there. So we are co-creators in this existence.
Sir, then why are some people good and why are some people bad? Because if divine wanted us to be expressing himself, then I'm sure God will not be bad, na?
God is always good. The best part is divine is not having any negativity or anything. It is as it is.
So why are people of white, black and shades of grey?
This particular expression is because of the mind. Whatever happens, it's the human being which has created different things at the human level. At divine level, it is just as it is. But when it tries to express through human being, unless one is connected, one doesn't experience that divine existence. When one is disconnected with whatever divinity is there, that is the time where the mind feels that that is supreme. Mind itself thinks that it is supreme, and it loses its connection with the divinity. And that's the time when things don't happen the way it should happen. Negativity builds up, or all these other things, unwanted things and distractions keep happening. But when we are connected properly to the higher intelligence or to the divine, it tries to fulfill its creation by making us a co-creator of whatever it wants to do.
All right.
So it has to be always the intention of the human being always has to be good, honest, pure, clean, and positive. And there is something called as a karma theory. Like whatever we do here, whether it's positive, negative, good, bad, after we leave our body, in some form or the other, that is going to remain, and that may affect in, if at all we believe in reincarnation or the next life, it may come back into that particular life. That's why if we believe in the karmic say particles, or if we believe in karma, then karma is something whatever we have done over here during our existence, and that is going to remain with us later on, whether we become human beings again or whatever, or whichever form of existence the divine is going to give it to us. So there's something called as a divine bank balance, and the more we do good things and improve our divine bank balance, the better life is going to be here, at least this time. And if you believe in karma, etc., it will be better in whatever existence is going to help us become in the future.
So, when we normally we have very limited, at least I have a limited experience with my life. So when I thought that we all turn to spiritualism, thinking about God or thinking good karma, is when the surrounding or the environment is turning bad.
Right. Yeah.
So whenever something bad is going to is happening in our life, suddenly we start connecting to God more. बट एक्चुअली तो ऐसा नहीं है ना सर. मेडिटेशन में या जो हम लोग जो व्हेन वी सी बुद्धिस्ट मॉन्क्स एंड ऑल दैट, दे आर डिस्कनेक्टेड एंड दे आर क्लोजर टू गॉड, राइट? सो व्हाई देयर इज, हाउ कैन अ पर्सन बी इन द नॉर्मल नेचुरल लाइफ? इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर एवरीबडी टू जस्ट लीव एवरीथिंग और योगी बन जाए, ऐसे तो पॉसिबल नहीं है. तो हाउ डू यू फील दैट व्हाट few things we can do in our daily life, that it is not only when things are going bad that we remember the supreme power? We are always in that resting phase where we are into the mode of prayer or remembering the supreme power. Right. So what is your take on it? Am I going in the right direction when I'm asking this question?
Absolutely. One doesn't have to become a monk to it. Monk is a different level. So if one wants to have enlightenment or nirvana, then yes, one may have to move a little bit into a different direction. But being in this physical existence, we can at the same time be connected. Even in our day-to-day life, it's just a matter of keeping our thoughts in the right direction. So if you say you have 70,000 thoughts in a day, how many of them are oriented towards say godly thoughts kind of thing, or towards divine meaning anything which is good, honest, pure, clean, positive?
All right.
And how many are those which are negative, or anger based, or envy, or jealousy, or those kind of negative qualities which are there in the mind? So a person who has understood this particular concept of thought, Napoleon Hill, one of the success philosophers in USA, has said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
Okay.
Earl Nightingale, who's supposed to be the dean of personal development industry, says that whatever you think, you become. You become what you think.
Agreed.
So if you are constantly thinking about, say, negative thoughts, whatever negative, it could be jealousy, it could be envy, it could be anything. There are a large number of negative things which keep happening in the mind. So then, of course, you go on becoming that, because the divine or the supreme creator considers you as a co-creator on this planet.
Alright.
Creation happens through the mind. So there's the body, there's the mind, there's the intellect, and then there is that supreme power. So the only way to connect to the supreme power is through the mind. And if your mind itself is not in a positive direction, then that connection gets hampered.
So you will get all the negativity of the world
Yes.
connected
You
to
become what you think about.
Perfect.
It's as simple as that.
So if we wish to become godly, we have to be thinking also positively and in actually the way God wanted us to be, probably.
True, true.
As you said, it has to be positive. And what are the other things you said?
Pure, clean, good, honest, positive.
Pure, clean, good, honest, and positive.
Positive.
So these are the characters of your soul which you should be actually
Yes.
carrying forward. This is
Yes.
how the God wanted us to be.
Right.
Nice. All right. So now we have established at least the first part of our talk. We have established that there is some supreme power who wanted to create human beings,
Right.
right? Because only we can think beyond survival, or
True.
probably survival with the luxury.
Right.
Then all these questions are when you are already surviving, and then you are surviving with some kind of luxury,
True.
and then you start thinking these questions: is there a purpose to life?
Right.
Right? So now that we have come to that there is a God, and so then I'm sure that he must have created with some purpose. So what is I'm not talking about the goal of life कि मुझे X बनना है, मुझे Y बनना है, मुझे चेयरमैन बनना है, मुझे प्रेसिडेंट बनना है, मुझे 10 लोगों को खाना खिलाना है, मुझे वो नहीं, not the goals, but I'm just wanting to know कि with what purpose did the God make us?
Basically, the divinity is meant to express itself. So it wants to express in terms of life, it wants to express in terms of existence itself. So two things are there. The mind is the center of divine operation, and it always tries to express itself, and it tries to fulfill the creation which is there. Now creation can be anything, and as a human being we are limited, we are finite beings, but the divinity is infinite, and divinity tries to express itself through us. If we are not here in the mind and body, divinity or this existence doesn't exist. So if the divinity has to express itself with a fuller existence, it creates, whether it's human beings or plants or whatever it is, whichever form of life, it creates life. And if that life is not existing, then the divinity is just divinity. It is as it is.
So it's not expressed.
It is
How
not
do you come
expressed.
to know that there is somebody who's made this beautiful mountain or nice birds?
Yes.
So, okay.
At the planet level, yes,
Yes.
mountains, birds. If you take a bigger
I'm
cosmos,
talking about the human being.
yeah. If
So
if you take a bigger cosmos, the energy, the matter, so
That
the
is
mind
beyond.
itself, yeah.
That
So
is so-
all that, there's lots to existence beyond the human planet itself.
All right.
So everything, if it has to be there, the existence is there, and existence itself is divinity.
So when we were talking to various people, you must have seen a lot of videos, and I asked this question that what is purpose of life to many people, and lot of people also said that there is no purpose to life. It is living itself is purpose to life.
True.
Living in sync with everybody is also purpose of life. Helping others is also purpose of life.
Right.
So I want you to tell us what should be our purpose of life.
So, Dr. Richa, when we say purpose, we have to divide it into two things. One, the higher and the divine purpose. Second is our personal purpose.
Okay.
Now, if we talk about our personal purpose, you need to understand the goals, you need to understand vision, and then you can understand purpose. Now, take for example, we all know our earth is round. The earth has a satellite, which is the moon, and the earth revolves around the sun. A simple solar system or a planetary existence that we have. There's a sun, there's a earth, and there's a moon. The moon revolves around the earth, and the earth revolves around the sun. Whatever goals we have in our human existence, that can be considered as the moon. The goals revolve around the vision, what we have. Vision is the earth in this example.
Nice.
And the earth revolves around the purpose, the personal purpose which is there. And beyond the earth, whatever is the higher purpose, which is totally different, which is connecting to the supreme in energy or whatever we will call. So we have our individual goals. Our goals are pointed always towards the vision, our own individual vision. Everybody will have a different thing. The vision is always pointed towards the purpose. So goal is the most smallest of the thing.
So I understood suddenly that it is the divine power and it is making us all spin with our own goals, our own
True.
little aims.
Yes.
But the higher purpose is divinity itself.
Yes.
It's
yes.
just expressing the divinity itself.
Absolutely.
So the moment you start connecting that it's the same energy which is flowing
Right.
across,
Yes.
you have suddenly got the purpose of.
Right.
And you basically, I think God must be just thinking that, okay, you have come to this world, so you kind of enjoy whatever such
True,
beauty or so many.
Yeah.
So what do you think that, sir? Do you feel that with whatever intention the God created us in so many eras, are we moving towards it or we are moving away from the original purpose what God made us for?
Expression and existence is as it is.
Okay.
So there's nothing like it was like this or it should be like this. It is we who make it that way by using our mind.
Okay.
So when we have our personal purpose, we have our vision, we have our goal, and then there is that supreme purpose.
True.
The personal purpose, the vision, and the goal happens through the mind. And that is where all the chaos starts happening. Because unless we are connected to the higher mind, we are not in happiness. That love factor which is there, love is totally a different expression.
Correct.
It's not something which the new generation calls it as love today, not that heart and arrow.
No.
This love is totally different. So when one is in love with that divinity, connected, that true expression of love can be understood. That true expression of happiness can be understood. And that true expression of happiness is nothing but bliss. When there's a love connected to the divinity, when there's a love and happiness connected to the divinity, there's a uniformity that results in bliss.
So again, it's finding your own sync with the divine.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
you have kind of found the sync between your friends, between your spouse, between your kids, between your colleagues, between your environment.
True.
And then probably you are a happier soul to connect to the divine.
Yeah. So
Because-
when we see each other, whether it's our friends, relatives, whatever it is, in our tradition we do Namaste. Namaste means the divinity in me bows down to the divinity in you.
It's like God's meeting each other.
Yeah, divinity in me bows down to the divinity in you. So when we start seeing our other fellow human beings or animals or plants or any form of life as if it's a divine part of the whole creation, that is the time when stress reduces.
Wow.
That is the time when you start becoming happy. That is the time you start expressing love. Now, I don't know if you've heard about Mata Amrutanandamai.
Yes.
She physically practices this with everybody by hugging each other. So that's the kind of the divine love being transmitted from one person to another person, because the front person may not be as evolved as she is.
Okay.
So every guru or every rishi has their own method of guiding the people in such a way, whether it was, we just finished Christmas, so whether it was just Jesus Christ or whether any other religion you take, in Krishna, it's known as Krishna consciousness. It's also known as Christ consciousness. So it's nothing but the divinity. Different names are given to that.
So I guess you, as you said, we are all receivers, और हमारा जिसके साथ connect बैठ जाता है, in the divine source, and we just want to be one again, in sync with either it is Krishna
True,
or
true.
Jesus
Yeah.
or Ram or anybody who
Yes,
just gives us
yes.
that feel that we are
True.
just a part of that divine
Absolutely.
energy.
You said it rightly. Love and happiness is nothing but a feeling. So that feeling comes in whichever way. Somebody might get connected with a particular religion, somebody might get connected with something else. But as long as that feeling is there, that feeling is the one which helps us to connect.
So
over there.
whatever fills your heart and soul with love is your connect and your sync. Fantastic. Sir, we went through so many things, but because you mentioned about your mind so many times, and we all know that it is the mind which plays monsters 99% of the time. So how do you control your mind to do good things and to be spiritually inclined? With this answer, we will close the talk.
Dr. Richa, it is the understanding of the mind and the knowledge of the mind which is very important. So before you control it or before you start managing your mind, you need to understand it. You need to have some knowledge about it.
Alright.
And only then you will be able to do it. And it gets done through practical experience. So in simple terms, mind is like a software and the brain is like a hardware. So brain is in the human body, it can be dissected, it can be felt, it can be seen.
The anatomy.
Yes. And the mind, nobody can see it. It is invisible. But you can experience it in yourself.
Sir, when we are talking, sorry, I'm so sorry to disturb you, sir. Sir, here when we are talking about mind, are we talking about mind? Is mind different than our thought?
No. A series of thoughts together are seen in the mind.
All right.
So mind is nothing but
Thought
various
is
thoughts
a
which come.
picture and mind is a video?
Thought could be a video, thought could be a sound, thought could be a feeling.
No, I meant to say one stat capture is a thought. And when there are multiple of it going on, does that become mind?
Yeah, one thought leading to another thought, leading to another thought, to another thought. So chain of thoughts are seen
True,
in the
exactly,
mind.
that's what I wanted
So
to
as we minimize the number of thoughts through various techniques or through meditation, a stage comes when you are single pointed. There's only one kind of a thought, or there is a thought, there's a space or a gap, there's another thought which comes up as one evolves into meditation, and it is in the gap between two thoughts that you get connected to the divinity, because at that particular time you don't have your own hindrances or whatever it is between.